Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Tesla Stock Podcast. This is it. The day of reckoning for Tesla shareholders is finally upon us. The deadline to vote on Elon Musk's new, potentially trillion-dollar compensation package is just hours away, with the annual meeting set for tomorrow, November 6th. And just as this high-stakes decision comes to a head, we have a stark contrast in the company's operational performance. A massive breakout product hit in China and a disastrous ongoing sales collapse in Europe. With the stock now trading around the $445 mark, let's unpack one of the most pivotal weeks in Tesla's history. Let's start with the story that has all the headlines, the vote. Shareholders have until 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time tonight to cast their ballot on a compensation plan that could grant Elon Musk nearly $1 trillion in shares over the next decade. The package is tied to a series of moonshot milestones, including growing Tesla's market cap to an almost unbelievable $8.5 trillion and deploying 1 million robotaxis and 1 million Optimus robots. The Tesla board, led by Chair Robin Denholm, is in full court press mode right now, warning of a doomsday scenario if the plan is rejected. In a letter to shareholders last week, she explicitly warned that Musk could leave the company if the package isn't approved, saying if we fail to foster an environment that motivates Elon to achieve great things, we run the risk that he gives up his executive position. Tesla may lose his time, talent, and vision, which have been essential to delivering extraordinary shareholder returns. Elon Musk himself has been clear about his motivations. He stated that it's not about the money, but about securing his influence over the company's future in AI. On the last earnings call, he said, "If we build this robot army, do I have at least a strong influence over that robot army? I don't feel comfortable building that robot army if I don't have at least a strong influence." The new plan would, if all milestones are met, give him a stake of over 25%. But this is not a slam dunk. The opposition is powerful. This week, Norges Bank, which manages Norway's massive sovereign wealth fund and is one of Tesla's largest investors with a 1.16% stake, announced it will be voting against the proposal. They stated, "While we appreciate the significant value created under Mr. Musk's visionary role, we're concerned about the total size of the award." They join a growing chorus of unions, corporate watchdogs, and proxy advisory firms who are all opposing the deal. It's a high-stakes game of chicken. The board is framing this as a robo-ransom required to keep their visionary CEO, while major investors are calling this an unconscionably large payout for a leader who is already the world's richest person. But while this high-stakes drama unfolds in the boardroom, there is some genuinely fantastic news coming from the factory floor, and it's a story the bulls desperately needed. Our second story is the breakout success of the Tesla Model YL in China. This is the new long-wheelbase 7-seat version of the Model Y that launched in September, and it has been an absolute blockbuster. Newly released sales data shows that the YL sold 8,221 units in its very first month on the market, rocketing it to fourth place among all mid to large SUVs in China. This is a huge win. As we've covered, Tesla's sales in China have been struggling against a flood of new, high-tech, and often cheaper domestic competitors. The YL, however, appears to have hit the sweet spot. It's already sold out for October and November, with new orders now showing delivery dates deep into December. This proves that the Tesla brand still has immense power in the world's largest EV market, if it has the right product. By offering a family-sized, practical EV at a competitive price point, Tesla has shown it can still generate massive excitement, and more importantly, massive sales. It's a crucial proof point that the core car business isn't dead. But for every piece of good news in the car business, it feels like there's a disaster in another key market. That brings us to our final story. The sales collapse in Europe is not only continuing, it's getting worse. This week, new data from Germany, the continent's largest auto market, showed that Tesla sales in October plunged by a staggering 53.5% compared to the same month last year. The company sold only 750 cars in the entire month. For the full year, Tesla sales in Germany are now down over 50%. And this isn't happening in a vacuum. In that same German market in October, total EV sales actually grew by 47.7%, and Chinese rival BYD saw its sales surge over 900% year over year. This confirms the brutal trend we saw in last week's data, which showed an 89% drop in Sweden, an 86% drop in Denmark, and a 50% drop in Norway. This is a full-blown crisis for the European business. Analysts continue to point to the same two culprits: a small, aging product lineup that is getting crushed by a wave of new high-tech and often cheaper Chinese competitors, and the Musk factor, as the CEO's political brand continues to alienate a core part of the European EV buying public. So this is the backdrop for the shareholder vote this week. On one hand, you have the board saying you must approve a $1 trillion package to lock in the visionary CEO who can build a robot army. On the other hand, you have the current reality of the car business, a brilliant success in China with the new family-friendly model, and an absolute implosion in Europe where the brand and the aging lineup are failing to compete. This brings me to the most important question of the week, the one every shareholder has to answer by 11:59 p.m. tonight. How are you voting? Do you approve the $1 trillion package to lock in the visionary CEO, believing that the future of AI and robotics is all that matters and that the current sales struggles are just a temporary blip? Or do you vote no, siding with major investors like Norges Bank, calling the board's bluff and demanding more focus on the core car business that is in serious trouble right now? Let me know what you decided to do in the comments below. As always, if you found this breakdown valuable, please hit that like button, subscribe to the Tesla Stock Podcast, and be sure to turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you after the vote.